All right, let's talk about React Beginner. So question number 3, that's maybe the only one we're gonna review today. We'll see what we got later on. But that question is interesting enough. So what we got today here is function world champions. So we essentially have some sort of list of drivers. So can anyone tell me what type of data drivers is? That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. It's not an object, guys. It's an array of objects. Yeah, so that detail is subtle but important. Yeah, it's an array of objects. So we got an array of objects, and we want to iterate through these elements, and we want to essentially just filter out the drivers that are not a world champion. I think now I remember that we already reviewed this question, but I think it's relatively complex, so it may work to give it a go again. All right, so can anyone give me an accurate description about what line number 5 is supposed to do? That's correct. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. We have an array of 3 drivers, at least on the first use case scenario, and filter will keep an array of 2 drivers. And now, can anyone tell me how to destructure line number 5 to simplify it a bit? I wasn't thinking about that. We can talk about that later on. I was thinking about the line number 5. All right, so remove the driver. I agree with you, Vicky. And now, can anyone help Vicky? What else do we need to do in that line? Hello? Curly braces where, Elena? Here? Are you sure about that? No, not here. Can anyone help Vicky and Elena? Maxim? Oh. Yeah, yeah. What? That's interesting. That's interesting, Vicky. That's interesting. Correct. That's the way you destructure the driver object. Will that work? Is that line correct? That's not correct yet. There is something missing. We have to define the name? No, wrong. What happened, guys, when you destructure? No, again, guys, you probably were checking in a different space. I'm not talking about props. I'm talking about line number 5. I want line number 5 to be correct, and this is almost correct, but there is something wrong. I'll give you a hint. The problem is on the left-hand side. It's here. What's wrong here? Another parenthesis where? That's correct, Vicky. That's correct, Vicky. That's correct. You see? That's correct. Remember, when you destructure an argument, parentheses become mandatory. So you really need the parentheses. Yeah? So yeah, that filter function will essentially just keep the world champions, and eventually what we're going to do is going to display the name of the world champions. Yeah. So map will iterate over the array of drivers. How many drivers we got? We got 2 drivers. So map will display 2 labels. Yeah. That's why, as you can see on the left-hand side, expected labels to have length of 2. Yeah. So that's one thing. But now we want to display the name of the driver. So can anyone tell me what should I type here? That's correct, Elena. Driver.name. Yep. Anything else? Will that work? That's correct. That's correct, Elena. Remember, as we've learned on the last week, whenever you got map, you need to pass a root attribute called key. And what should we type here? Can I type, for instance, number 4? Aha. But what, Vicky, can you tell me why number 4 is not the valid key? Okay, so what happened with number 4 or number 5 or whatever? No, that's not fine, Vicky. That's not fine. That's not fine. There is a magic word. I'm waiting for you to pronounce here. Can anyone pronounce the magic word? Number 5 is not unique. That's correct, Elena. It's not unique. It's not unique. Remember, the key has to be unique. If I put number 5, okay, we have 2 drivers, but both drivers will have the same key, which is 5. So that's not unique. So, is driver.name unique? Well, at least regarding this exercise, yes, it is correct. Yeah? Technically speaking, we could use the index, we could do something a bit more exotic, but I think that's fine, guys. So we should try to avoid doing over-engineering. Yeah, we should do over-engineering, we should do things complicated when they become complicated. Yeah, but this is a quite fundamental problem, so let's just leave it like that. All right, so we tested. Hello? Okay. Let's see if it works. Yes, it works. We got confetti time. Yeah. Any questions? No? Say it again, Vicky. Okay, cool. All right. So I think that's it regarding beginner. Actually, that's interesting. Let's do that one as well. So user, I think that's new. That's new. Maybe. Who knows? All right. So let's try to understand the problem. How many props the user receives? 1. Which one? What's the name of that prop? That's correct. Yeah. The user component receives, look on the left hand side, receives a single prop called user. And now let's try to understand the instructions. Find an element with the class name, remember the dot, guys, the class name detail. All right, and how many elements with class name detail will we have? 2. All right, so what's the first one? The first one should contain name colon Peter. The second one should contain name colon 31. So technically speaking, we could hard code that. However, it will work just on this use case scenario, because as soon as we change the data with different person, the result should be obviously different. That's why we cannot hard code anything. We need to iterate. Can anyone please tell me if imagine that I'm on the first use case scenario. User is name Peter, age 31. What will object.keys of prop.user return? Yeah, the comment on line number 2. What will that display? The whole object? Wrong. That's correct. An array with the keys of that object, name and age. Yeah. All right, so then we map. That means we're going to iterate over each element in that array. And then for each element in the array, we've got 2 elements. So we're going to iterate 2 times. We're going to display 2 detail elements, which is what we want. So that's great. We're going to display some details. So the key will be, first of all, name, as you can see here. And now we want the value. So can anyone tell me, once you get the key, how do you get the value out of it? Correct, Max. That's absolutely brilliant. Why square brackets and not dot, Max? That's correct. Yeah, if you put dot, it will search for a prop call, for an attribute called key. literally key EY, right? And that's not what we want. We want to transform whatever the key is into the property. Yeah, that's the way it works. Anything else? No, so that should work, right? Let's actually figure out. Cool, confetti time, fantastic. Anything else? Any questions? No? Okay, so I'm gonna leave the beginner level, actually question number 5. We already covered that one on the last week. If you have any questions, check YouTube or just go back to me on Slack. So I'm gonna leave the beginner level here, and I'm gonna review 1 or 2 questions on the upper intermediate. So what we got today here. So on the upper intermediate question, actually the first one is a good one. It's a good one, a really good one. It's very simple. You should know how to do that already. So we got a component, a stateful component, a class, and we are just expected to display a message. So technically speaking, if I just pay attention to the last line, let's ignore the highlighted line. Let's just pay attention to the last one. So technically speaking, I could use the render method, and then here I could return return just the text, right? So I could return hello state. So without the semicolon, obviously. So the last line, it's correct because it's checking the text that the component returns. However, the problem is here. That's the issue. That's where the issue is. Look, wrapper.state. So the component is trying to get the state associated to that component, yeah, to the hello state component. So can anyone tell me how can we initialize the state in a React component? That's correct. We type constructor, and then super, and then what else? Mm-hmm. It is hello state, right? Yeah. And can anyone apart from Vicky, thank you, Vicky, tell me what should I write on line number 9? Like that? That will within curly braces, all right? So that's wrong. That's gonna throw an error. If I evaluate it, look, message is not defined. That's correct. And we don't even need the curly braces, guys. This is not the state, yeah? We need the curly braces if we wanna use JavaScript inside of HTML. Do we have any deep tag? Do we have any HTML code here? No. So let's just keep it simple, right? This dot state dot message. Definitely. We can, if you want. That's a bit pointless, but if you want, of course. Yeah. Then you really need the curly braces because you are moving from HTML to JavaScript. And that should be still okay, as we'll see in a second. Here you go, confetti time. I got a question for you. Can we change message with Brexit? Will it work? Yes, are you sure? Are you 100% sure? It's a very British way, very gentleman way to tell you are massively wrong, right? Why? Look, guys. The test is going too far, probably. But the test is checking the name of your variables. Yeah? I mean, outside, of course. I mean, the user will get the message. Yeah? So from a human point of view, that's fine. But from a technical perspective, look. You see, expected undefined. Yeah? So, you know. So we definitely should call it message. I'm not a big fan of this type of exercises, of ways of checking the components. And the reason is, to me personally, this test is going too far. This test is checking the implementation details of your components. And the test should be, at least the component test, should be a bit more human-driven. The test should check what are you displaying. Yeah, that's it. How the component managed to build that part of code or functionality, that's completely irrelevant. But anyway, this is just for educational purposes, just to show you that how can you actually set up something into the state with a specific variable name. Any questions? All right, so I think that's gonna be pretty much it. Let's see if I can. I don't want actually to spoil, because there is a very important workshop running shortly about hooks, and I don't want to spoil it. However, yeah, I think we can do this one. Create a Walkman component. Do you remember what a Walkman is? Have you ever watched one of these? Cool. You have one still today. Cool. Yes. Very hipster. Yeah. Today to use any of these devices. All right. So yeah, I'm gonna do this one because the thing is, once again, I think that's a really good question personally, because we are not gonna learn anything new. So this is about reusing what we already know or what we're already supposed to know. So from a functional point of view, we got a button, a component with a button, yeah? And then we're gonna present a text to the user. So do you remember, guys, the cassettes, so the tapes? On one side, you got the Spice Girls cassette, and then when you turn it, on the other side, on side B, you got Backstreet Boys, eh? And you can switch from one side to the other. So that's what the component is simulating. So first of all, let me create a constructor. So that's the first thing, because I will need some state, right? So when I click on the button, I will change the state. So I need that. So let me prepare the problem a bit. Yeah, something like that. We'll see what else do we need to do in there. But for now, I'm quite happy about that. And then we got the render func. Yeah. Yeah. No. We are not gonna talk about super as part of that workshop. However, we're gonna talk about that on week number 7 or 8, because that requires some knowledge about things like prototypal inheritance and lexical dis. Yeah. So for now, just use it. Just remember to use it, and then towards the end of the bootcamp, because that's a bit more complicated, we'll share some notes about why we need it and what happens if you don't use it. Cool. So we got render, and render will return something. Once again, I don't know much about what do I need to render. For now, let me create a div and a button, yeah, because that's all I know. So I will create a button. So I'm just preparing. I'm just, trying to work on the basics of the problem, so then I can focus on the details. So the button, do we need to put any text? Probably not, right? So I don't see any reference to the text, the visible text of the button. So let me just call it, I don't know, switch side, for instance. Yeah. And now let's think about the state. So I'm gonna create a variable called side. By default will be A. So then here, look, I will say if this dot state dot side equal A, can anyone tell me? Can anyone complete that line, number 11? Wrong. Question mark, correct? Yeah, question mark, yeah. And then what? Wrong. Look. Spice Girls, wrong. Why wrong? Look. That's correct, Max. Guys, we got the side A and side B components at the bottom, so we need to render them. So how can we render the side A component? No, you can't, because the exercise, I get your point. I mean, if I were you, so if you were me, you will try to do something like that, right? You will hard code everything. But unfortunately, the exercise is asking you to render external components, side A or side B. So like that. Parentheses, wrong. Side A. Exactly. Big is right. Guys, side A and side B, these are React components. Huh? Correct. And now we obviously need to add the proper text, right? So side A, Spice Girls, and side there. Which one do you prefer, guys? Spice Girls or Backstreet Boys? Oh, nice. Awesome. All right, cool. So is the exercise done? What happened if I test it? Look, we got an error. By default, is the active side A? Yes. Is the active text on side A Spice Girls? Yes. Is the side B hidden? Yes. Then we click on the button and then we expect the side A to disappear. However, it's still there. Why? It's in correct. That's correct. The button is actually stupid, right? The button is not doing anything. So how can we bind with an action here? That's correct. With capital C. Yeah, remember. So I'm going to create a new function called switch side. And then as part of this function, can anyone tell me what should I type here in line number 9? That's correct. That's not correct because side is a string, right? So you are doing not A. That's Elena. That's interesting. The strategy is correct. However, the syntax is wrong. Okay, triple equal, but still. All right, so what Elena has said, that's correct. However, is insufficient. We're missing something. Guys, not sure if you remember to update the state. We're passing an object. What is the object here? What is the key of the object? On the what? No. Guys, when you call set state, we learned that already. When we call set state, we're passing an object. And an object has a key and a value. Name, Peter. So when you type set state, you need the colon to separate the key and the value. What's the key? Which key are we trying? All right, guys. Right. No, wait. Guys, you're making it more complicated than it is. That's it. Yeah? You set the name of the key. which is hide, and then the value of the key you're trying to. Yeah. No. No. Guys, we ran a workshop about the state, right? Or am I absolutely out of control now? Because I think we've done that. Right? All right. Let me check. Let me check the calendar because I'm a bit confused. Yeah, we guys on the 13th of May. We ran a very important workshop. I know it was a bit mind-blowing, it was a bit complicated, but that workshop, where I am, let me go back to the challenge. So on that workshop, we discussed how to update the state. So what Vicky was trying to do, right, wait, time out, Vicky. That's wrong because of multiple reasons. So first of all, in here, on the right-hand side, you are essentially negating A. What's the result of negating a string like that, guys? I don't know, but that doesn't sound familiar. You can negate booleans, like let am I cool equals true. So then I can do not am I cool, right? But because that's a boolean, true, false, true, false, true, false. But when you get a string like A, you cannot negate it. That doesn't really make sense. That's the first issue. Then you got the second issue, colon. We only use colons within objects. What is your object here? So that's syntactically speaking, that's not following the ECMAScript standard. Yeah. So definitely that's the only way. That's the only approach towards solving the problem without using hooks. And once again, we'll talk about hooks shortly. Yeah, but that's a different story. So let's see if it works. There's something wrong. Okay, so let's. Of course. I'm not even calling it, right? You're right. But actually, it looks like there is something else wrong. There is a syntax error. Okay, because that's actually halfway through, right? So if you remember when you got a button, you had to do something like that. Yeah. This dot switch side and then you exactly with parentheses. Yeah. So once again, guys, please check the workshop we recorded on the 13th of May because that was vital. That was very, very important towards building complex applications with React. And then once you do that, you can see you get confetti time, which is always nice. I can share that on Slack if you want. Do you have any final questions? Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah. Well, you can have whatever you want. Because you may have an array, you may have an object. Yeah. Obviously, depending on the data, you need to take a strategy towards how to manipulate it. But that's a different story. All right. So, anything else, guys? Okay, so I'm gonna share a link on Slack to Elena, Max. Vicky, you said you wanted to participate or not? Yeah. Okay, so if you want, and whoever. So we're gonna do a test with the people from 10 to React in 15 minutes. So I'll send you a link on the Slack about how to join it. If anyone else wants to participate, you're obviously invited. So thank you very much, guys, and see you later. Bye-bye.